You might think you know Image Comics, but here are 12 facts you may not have known about the history of America's third largest comics publisher. Image Comics debuted with the launch of Rob Liefeld's Youngblood #1 in 1992. The remainder of the first wave of titles include Erik Larsen's Savage Dragon, Todd McFarlane's Spawn, Jim Lee's Wildcats, Marc Silvestri's Cyberforce, Jim Valentino's Shadowhawk, and Whilce Portacio's Wetworks. Image was founded by 7 artists well known for their work at Marvel, who were upset that they were being unfairly compensated for their work and creations. Liefeld was known for his work on X-Force, Larsen for Spider-Man, McFarlane for Spider-Man, Lee for X-Men, Silvestri for Wolverine, Valentino for Guardians of the Galaxy, and Portacio for X-Men. Since so many of them were known for their work on X titles, their departure from these titles was known as the Exodus. As the founding members of Image had more experience as artists than publishers, they at first relied on the experience of another publisher, Malibu Comics, to help with production and distribution. Their initial launches were so successful that for a time they held a bigger market share than DC Comics. Image began publishing independently by early 1993, however. Each Image founder established their own studio to produce books. Erik Larsen's imprint for a time was known as Highbrow Entertainment, which published Savage Dragon and its spin-offs, as well as the 3rd volume of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Larsen is the only publisher who has worked continuously on his own title since the founding of Image, with Savage Dragon still going strong. Jim Lee's studio, Wildstorm Productions, produced such books as Wildcats, Stormwatch, Gen 13, Deathblow, and others. Lee sold Wildstorm to DC Comics in 1999, where it became an imprint that mixed Lee's own properties with other creator-owned books, such as Alan Moore's sub-imprint, America's Best Comics. Rob Liefeld's studio, Extreme Studios, produced such books as Youngblood, Bloodstrike, Brigade, Glory, Prophet, Supreme, and New Men. Liefeld resigned his position as an Image partner in 1996, following some disputes we won't go into here, but he has since returned to publish titles at Image again. Todd McFarlane's studio is called, appropriately enough, Todd McFarlane Productions, which mostly focuses on publishing Spawn and its spin-offs, though it sometimes expands to produce, say, The Crow or Kiss comics. Spawn is the Image comic with the highest issue count, though McFarlane's involvement in the title has been intermittent over the years. Whilce Portacio is the Image founder who never established his own studio, happy to release Wetworks through Jim Lee's Wildstorm. X-Men writer Chris Claremont was initially going to launch a book with Portacio called Huntsman at Image, but when Portacio decided to create his own book, Claremont, who left Marvel at the same time as the Image founders, went to work at DC instead. Marc Silvestri's studio is Top Cow Productions, responsible for such books as Cyberforce, The Darkness, Witchblade, and Codename Strikeforce. For a time, Top Cow also had an imprint called Joe's Comics, which were titles created by J. Michael Straczynski, including Rising Stars and Midnight Nation. Jim Valentino's studio is called Shadowline, which first published his superhero title Shadowhawk, and later his semi-autobiographical book A Touch of Silver. Valentino became publisher of Image Comics in 1999 and helped to build up Image Central, a unit for publishing creator-owned books by new creators, completely independent of any of the founder studios. Erik Larsen became publisher in 2004, but he stepped down in 2008 to be replaced by current publisher Eric Stevenson, who has worked to diversify Image's output and raise its critical reputation with such books as Saga, Chew, The Manhattan Project, Fatale, Revival, and many others. In 2008, Robert Kirkman, the co-creator of Invincible and The Walking Dead, became the first non-founder to become a partner at Image Comics. In 2010, he launched his own imprint, Skybound, which publishes his own books, plus such titles as Manifest Destiny and Birthright. That's it for this episode of You Think You Know Comics. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comics facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comics awesomeness.